The following narration is part 4 of I'm a Manager at a Chuck E. Cheese Restaurant by So Lonely 200. If you would like to hear parts 1 through 3, I'll link them in the description box below. This is Mark again, and before we get into it, let me just say, you really learn to love the smell of pizza, spilled beverages, and mop water when there's a mascot costume covered in actual blood, vomit, and shit in your office. I asked Al to remove it, but the fucker came back. It doesn't seem hostile. Well, not entirely anyway. But by God, the thing smells awful. I'd sooner kiss Frank than touch this thing. I mean, if you had to spend hours around a mangy, moldy Chuck E. Cheese costume covered in that, you wouldn't be exactly thrilled either. Anyway, night shift was uneventful. But what's worrying me is the costume followed me. It was outside my home last night, and still in my office this morning. What's more, I'll insist that it was there all night. Am I being stalked? Is it the phone guy? I won't lie, it's got me on edge. Anyway, I made it to work today. "You're late," I heard Dwight say as I walked in. I grumbled something under my breath as he then replied, "Good news is we found someone for the night staff so you don't have to work it tonight. However, you will be closing and helping putting everything away for the night staff." Not looking up at me as he read a magazine behind his desk. I walked in my office and the costume, surely enough, was still there, covered in blood, vomit, and shit as I said, but its feet were muddy. I shook it off and got to work. As Dwight had taken over most administrative duties per corporate orders, I decided to work the floor. Gary had been oddly inactive all day, so I kept my eyes on the ball pit. As I did so, I decided to try to strike up a conversation with Al. "Hey there, Al." I leaned against the countertop and handed a toy to a kid for 50 tickets. "Hello, Marcus," he responded, that ever-present smile on his face. "So I have to ask, why don't you ever leave?" He cocked his head. "What do you mean?" I waved my hand as if gathering my thoughts and finally said, "Well, I mean, you never leave. Like, ever. You're here all night." He smiled again and responded, "Oh, that. Well, I have no need to. I have everything I need here." Okay, then. Well, I'm not staying with this conversation. I watched the ball pit for a while and helped a kid or two find Cave Runner. It was a slow day. That was until around closing time. There was a loud commotion, and I knew exactly what had happened. Sure enough, the new hire had jokingly pushed his buddy in the ball pit. They didn't get back out. Blood was flying everywhere, and I got a good view of Gary's feeding. The poor bastard kept being pulled under, and when he came back up, chunks of flesh were missing. Eventually, the last time I saw him, most of his skull was exposed. I stopped the newbie from going in, shaking my head. Let Gary finish. "Gary?" I pointed to the ball pit. "Gary. Welcome to your life, newbie." I patted him on the back and went to get cleaning supplies. I went down to the basement through a door in the back of a storage closet to our cleaning supplies. I froze at the base of the stairs. Emily was down there. The ghostly girl giggled, gestured for me to follow, and ran off into the darkness of the basement. I don't know why the fuck I did, but I followed. I heard her giggling in the darkness. Then a phone started to ring. I saw it resting on an old table we had moved down here. An old black phone. Shaking, I answered. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking either. "Hello?"
"I see you,"
the familiar voice said. "Who is this? Why do you keep calling here? Why do you keep calling me?"
"I want to know what's inside,"
he said. "Inside what?"
"Let me see what's inside."
Suddenly, a pair of dirty hands like that of a costume covered my eyes. I pushed them away and saw nothing. That's it! There's no way that thing is alive. This shithole was messing with me. I ran upstairs out of the basement and found myself in the kitchen. Andrew stared at me like he'd seen a ghost. "Whoa, where the fuck have you been?" he exclaimed, helping me up. "I was just in the basement." "Dude, we've been looking for you for 2 hours. The new guy said you were in the basement, but we didn't find you down there." That wasn't possible. I was only down there for like 5 minutes. Needless to say, I went home after that. I don't know, it's been years since this place has fucked me up like that. Kind of exciting if I'm being honest. The costume didn't follow me home tonight. But I just got another phone call from our friend. It went like this. "Hello?"
Inside. I have to see inside.
"Stop it with cryptic bullshit. What do you want?"
You breathed 5,028 times in your sleep last night. I see you.
Who is this?
Al is a liar. Don't trust Al.
Okay, so that's freaky. I heard a knock on my door, and standing there was Andrew. He looked out of breath and frankly freaked out. "Hey bud, mind if I come in? We need to talk." I always liked Andrew. He didn't care what he had to do at work and never questioned it. As long as he was treated well, he didn't give a shit. He sat on my couch, and after a bit of silence, he finally spoke. "So, I killed Al." I dropped my glass of soda I poured. "You did what now?" "It was an accident, I swear. I was driving home, I was a little drunk and I hit him." "How the fuck? He never leaves the restaurant." "Dude, if you don't believe me, he's in my trunk right now." Naturally, I asked to see. Sure enough, there was Al. He was bloody, bruised, and looked like he had skidded across the road pretty far. "Jesus Christ, dude, how fast were you going?" "I don't know. Look, I was a little wasted, alright?" I was confused though. Al never left the restaurant, but sure enough, his body was in front of me. Maybe he was human after all. Checking a wallet in his pocket, I saw his name was Albert Hampton. But you know me, I just had to make sure. I called the number corporate gave us for contacting the overnight crew. I am the manager after all. Sure enough, I was greeted with Al's always chipper voice. "Hello, Mark. Checking in on the night crew?" I immediately hung up. "Well, looks like Gary gets a special snack tomorrow," I finally said after some deliberation. Using a hacksaw from my tool shed, we cut Al into chunks. I vomited quite a bit during it, I won't lie. We stuffed the bits of human flesh into garbage bags, and now we're waiting. Tomorrow we feed this guy to Gary. But right now I'm questioning, who the hell is working our prize corner? And on a lesser note, why was Al answering for the night crew? I'll fill you in on that later, but I should get to bed before my shift. This is Mark, signing out for now. See ya! So that was a great story, huh? You know what else would be great? If you liked this video. Come on, I know you want to do it. Come on, just like it. Come on, I'll be your best friend. No, but seriously, this channel can't grow without likes and shares. And I know it's the last thing you want to do. It's the last thing I want to do most of the time. It'll just take a few moments to do, so if you want to see this channel grow, go ahead and like and share. I would really appreciate it. Well, that's it for now. Catch you later.
Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek.